Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the Swedish Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Barracuda Emil 1951. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Barracuda, it is an Emil 1951. If you've seen the unskinned version, that is actually ever so slightly different. And that's because the Emil 1951 doesn't have the spaced armour on the upper plate that this Barracuda does. But in lieu of that spaced armour, it gains 3 seconds on the reload. So instead of a 36-second reload like this tank has, it has a 33-second reload. That extra 3 seconds really does come in handy. So the Barracuda loses that. So it actually is slower on the reload. And I think I would rather have the faster reload than the upper plate armour that the Barracuda gets. Because especially when you get to the tier 9 and 10s, they generally go through it with relative ease anyway, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, the Barracuda is a pretty decent premium heavy tank. The problem with the Barracuda is that it's pretty good when it's top tier, but as soon as you go against tier 9 and 10s, it becomes distinctly poor. And that's because this tank is actually pretty good hull down. But as soon as you go in against 260, 270 pen, its hull down capacity becomes poo. And it starts getting penned pretty easily through the front of the turret, and you lose that one special advantage that this thing gets, which can be pretty damn frustrating, because then you're left with penetration that's a bit you're left with gun handling that's not great, 12 degrees gun depression, which is fantastic, and pretty decent mobility as well. But yeah, it can be just so frustrating, especially with this gun. This gun loves a good miss, and that can be really frustrating on this Emil Barracuda. The other thing is, we're on the road to 3 marks, so these are the games that lead up to and achieve the 3rd mark of excellence for the Barracuda, and we're going to have a pretty nice time. So, the Barracuda, it has a 45 km/h top speed with a 16 km/h reverse speed, a 400 horsepower engine, which is 15.17 horsepower per ton ratio, which means you do get to 45 eventually, but it can be a bit sluggish getting there. You have a 20% internal fire chance, which is on the higher end of fire chances, and trust me, this tank does like getting set on fire if you get penned in the hull, which can be pretty frustrating. You've got 471 meters of view range, which means you're also fairly blind in the Barracuda, which is why we help it out as much as possible, and it means that you will get outspotted a lot in this tank, which can lead to pretty frustrating times. We've got a 28 degree a second hull rotation speed, which is a bit slow, and we've also got 27.41 degrees a second on the turret rotation speed, which is, again, slow. The turret traverse on this tank is pretty damn slow, and it can be a bit painful at times to get the gun snapped round on target. We've got 0.73 accuracy during rotation, which isn't too bad, but a 2.79 accuracy during movement is really not great, and it really means the aim circle blooms out quite a lot after you've moved. I mean, you really have to spend time aiming the gun to make sure it's going to hit, especially with 0.32 accuracy at 100 meters at best, which means it's not even the most accurate gun in the universe either. So it blooms out quite a bit, and then you've got a 2.44 second aim time, which means that, yeah, you spend quite a bit of time waiting for the aim circle to aim in, and then it's a bit derpy, so it derps the floor quite a lot anyway, which you sit there going, oh, come on, gun. Right, it can be pretty frustrating for that. That's a shot that's right there. We have the whole lower plate, we hit the underside of the tank and ricocheted. That's a demonstration of the gun right there on that Emil 1. But yeah, it can be pretty frustrating. As you can see, it is a 3-shot auto-loader with an intra-clip of 2.75 seconds, which means it's not the fastest auto-loader in the universe, but it can still put out damage at a decent pace, because it's not like getting to 3 seconds, which is ultra-slow, or even worse, 3.25 seconds, or even more, 4 seconds, right? It still can put out at a decent pace, but it's not the quickest damage output dealer in the universe. We've got a 27.65 second reload on this clip, which is a bit long for a clip for 3 shots like that. It can feel like it takes an age to reload at times, which is why I say the Emil 1951, the unskinned version, is nicer for having the fact that it reloads faster. We've got 217 penetration on the standard APCR shell, with 242 penetration on the premium APCR shell, and 53 penetration on the HE, which I just don't bother with, because there's no point spending nearly 30 seconds reloading for a HE clip that is not that useful, quite honestly. We've got 1,080 meters a second shell velocity on the standard APCR round, with 1,350 meters a second shell velocity on the premium APCR round, which means the premium APCR round is actually very, very nice on the Barracuda, and the shell velocity is great. It really helps to hit targets at range, as you don't have to give too much lead to hit those shells. You just have to hope that the shot actually hits, because, you know, the gun on this tank can be a bit derpy at times, which can be pretty frustrating. It does have a 150% silver bonus as well, which means it does make decent silver, but the fact is you do have to fire a decent amount of premium in this tank to make it work, especially in tier 9 and 10 games, so you will lose silver in that regard in the old Barracuda. But you have this 3-shot auto-loading gun with 360 alpha, and the 3-shot 360 alpha is really nice. This 360 alpha at tier 8 is a pretty damn nice alpha to have, as it can be quite impactful, especially when you're slapping the shots in, and it is like 1,080 damage in a clip, which isn't too bad. So what do I run in terms of a crew and equipment? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Track Mechanic, and Rapid Aim, with Vents, the Gun Stabilizer, and Optics. Optics and Vents to be able to get the best out of the view range, to be perfectly honest, to get it up to 471, so that I'm not struggling to spot enemy vehicles, which I still do struggle with, but at least I'm not quite as bad as it was without it. Rapid Aim to get the turret traverse as good as possible, because 27.41 degrees a second, even with the rapid aim, is still very slow, so it's something we just want to focus on. All 3 gun perks, because like I say, this gun is exceptionally derpy, and it can be really frustrating if you're not helping it out with all those perks. And track mechanic, because the tracks tend to get blown off quite easily in this vehicle, because the track health is quite weak, and your side armor is only 35mm thick, which means it's quite easy to get overmatched on the side armor, meaning that, yeah, quite a lot of the time you will have your tracks blown off by most tanks you face at tier 9 and 10, so I'll get the tracks back on as quickly as possible, and the gun stabilizer, again, to make the gun as good as humanly possible, because otherwise it's terrible. So as you can see, that first game we finished with the victory, 7 kills, 5.5k damage, 1900 assistance. The Ace Tanker, the Devastator, the Pascucci's, the Steel Wall, the Top Gun, the High Caliber, 2 pages of medals. Oh, we'll take that, and we're up to 93.5% on that MOE. A really great game there for the Barracuda with that 2.4k base XP. Absolutely fantastic game for, like I say, pretty nice tank when you're top tier. It's just like I say, when it gets bottom tier, it struggles, which is why you're going to see all 3 tanks to be... all 3 games are top tier, because that's where you're going to really juice the damage out for this tank to get the MOE up. And like I say, we're on the hunt for that 3rd mark of excellence, and those big games are what we're after, because they will give us significant percentage rises to get us over that line and get us those 3 stripes on the barrel. And to be fair, I like getting 3 stripes on the barrel of the Swedish tanks, because, you know, the Swedish tank gun marks are really nice. I like the yellow marks. They are very, very nice, and it's always great to get them. So, this second replay, we are on this map, which is Mines. And on Mines, you always want to try and take the hill. They've not really bothered sending anyone up there yet. Oh, Mr. Panzerjäger's going. We cannot allow this. We can clip out a Panzerjäger with one clip, but we low roll the second shell. And in fact, he's YOLO'd up into 2 light tanks and gets shut down. We managed to bounce 2 shots off our turret front, because like I said, our turret front is pretty damn good when we are top tier, and it's an asset that you want to use. And the one thing that is beautiful about the Barracuda, as is a Swedish tradition, if we're honest, in terms of their tanks, is the gun depression. 12 degrees of gun depression is fabulous, and it means that you just can absolutely use and abuse ridgelines to great effect. So, as you can see, their team has made a fatal error. They've not really bothered with the hill, and they've decided to spend a lot of tanks going up the 8-9 line. Now this is perfect for Barracuda. And I'm looking at this going, oh, this is juicy. This is what we want with this on the way to the 3 mark, because I got really frustrated trying to grind the 3 mark on this tank, because, like I say, the gun is really derpy, and I think you're going to see that in the last replay, where it tries every attempt to miss shots. And when we were so close as well, it's like, come on, tank, I just want to get over the line, bro, please. But this is the dream. We're quite close range. They're all underneath our gun, and we've got 12 degrees of gun depression, which is absolutely fabulous for being able to get the gun down and farm away, which is what we're hoping to do. We're on 1,741 damage. We're nearly loaded, so we're just poking out, and it's like, hello, Mr. IS Desmond Tutu. The whole side, and it ricochets off his ass. But we get one in and finish him off. Why, gun? Why? As we had the whole side of that guy, and it just decided, you know, that one strip of armor that we can auto ricochet off, I'm gonna hit it. Thanks, gun. Great. We could have been up to 2.7 by now and on our way, because at the point of 3 marking this, it was about 3.2 to get at least 0.1 on the mark, which is, you know, not too bad. And so every little helps in getting up there. And we'd have been 1 shot closer, but we put 1 shot into the FCM52, 2 shots. For the shot that we missed on the IS Desmond Tutu, we hit that one, right? You know, whatever you say, game. But we get the final shot in, we made sure to get that fully aimed in, and we're up to 3.4k damage. So I know from this point, it's all gains, baby. All gains. We're on the way up on our marks now. Every single extra clip we get in is going to be a bonus, and we're going to get closer to getting to that 3rd mark of excellence with every single shot, which is what we want, because the thing you're always keeping your eye on when you're 3 marking is your damage total. And once you might be saying, oh, how do you know what it is to 3 mark it? Well, generally when you're playing, you get to a point where you know what makes it rise and what makes it go down. So when I was playing it, I'd played it enough to notice that when I got about 3k damage, I didn't really go up, but I also didn't really drop. So as soon as I was getting over 3k damage, I always knew that I was at the point where I'm starting to rise. And when you're playing the tank in a game like this, you're always keeping your eye on it going, okay, we need to make sure we're just consistently pumping shots out. But once you get to a point where you know you're not losing anymore, you can just be that little bit more risky. You can stick around a little bit longer to make sure that you're going to get some extra shots of damage, because you're not going to lose anything for that. So every little helps in the regard of getting extra for the marks, right? And so you can just stick around, take extra risks, take a little bit extra damage, but the thing is, you can guarantee that you're also going to be getting extra damage yourself and pushing that mark of excellence up. So like there with that Ferdinand, I was spotted, I was detected, but I stuck around for that little bit longer to make sure that I was getting the shell fully aimed on the top of his roof, and we put one straight through, and we took a hit in return, but at that point I'm like, oh well, you know, it's extra damage. So we finished off the STA-2, we've got 2 shells left in the tank, we put 1 into the side of the FCM50T, and we've got another shell left in our clip. Can we find someone to dump it into? Looking at the K91 version 2, hoping he'll drive out, we see his side, finish him off. And that was a perfect clip there. We're up to 3 kills, 5.1k damage, 566 assistance, and there's only 3 tanks left on the enemy team, and yet again, I know I'm not losing, so I may as well just, even though I'm not loaded, YOLO forward. YOLO, see if we can spot anything. Because we've got 566 assistance and spotting. So if we start to spot anything that's camping like the TD that's at the back, if our team starts to shoot it, we might get assistance for it. But there is a light tank YOLOing with us, so the likelihood of getting the spotting on this Challenger is, well, highly unlikely, to be fair. But maybe we'll get some extra damage. We go for the shot into his rear. Oh, it misses. But we get a second shot in. Can we get the third? No, he gets shut down by the Lynx. Sad time that the first one missed, but hey-ho. We're up to 6k combined, which is a glorious game for the Barracuda, and it will lead to a very good percentage rise. And we've just got 1 tank left on the enemy team, and it's like, where are you? Where art thou, Mr. Light Tank? I would like to kill you. I would like the damage. He's a 2-shot for us, which is an extra set of damage. I would like 6k damage. That would be very nice. Unfortunately for me, the likelihood of getting those 2 shots into that guy is, you know, pretty unlikely, sorry, unless he turns around and runs straight at me. But my light tank and their medium are going after him. So we put 1 shot towards him. He has actually turned around to come after us. This is glorious. But sadly I miss. And he doesn't come back. And I'm like, come back, light tank. Come back. No, he's taking hits. I just wanted to shoot you. Don't shoot him. He's mine. No. Pain. And we don't get any extra damage on that light tank, but we do finish the game with 6k combined. The ace tank of the high caliber, the Confederate, the sniper medal, with the 1934 base XP. Really great game yet again for the Barracuda there on mines. Exactly what you want to do on mines, by the way. Take the hill. If you've got gun depression, abuse the hill and you will farm for days. But we're on to the 3rd and final game, and this is the game for which we achieved that 3rd mark of excellence. And we are on Fisherman's Bay, a map that I got when we started to go for it, and I went, 1 RE, bit of a pain, but perfect. I can go hull down on the ridge line in the middle, 12 degrees of gun depression is going to be great for me, and I can flex to shoot the people down the 8-9 line quite easily and stay safe, but if there's people playing the mid-ridge, I can also shoot them. If they win the town, I can run away to, like, H2 and stay safe there and farm the people that come out of the town. Or, if they win the 1-2, I can run towards the town and get safe hull down on the ridge lines and shoot them as they come towards our cap. There's plenty of things I can do from this middle position. I really do like this middle position on Fisherman's Bay. But, problem. Oh, come on, gun, really? Okay, we hit him with the second one. Third one, can we get him? Yes, there we go. 2 out of 3. First shot decided with the whole ass of a Ragnarok just to fly over because RNG, it giveth and it taketh. But there we go. But yeah, the problem with this position on Fisherman's Bay is the fact that if there's artillery in the game, it can be a little bit awkward because you are very exposed, and the moment the artillery decides to target you, yeah, they will focus you relentlessly, and that's because usually you're the only one spotted. We had the whole side of the Earthshaker there. Sadly, it misses. I thought I'd hit that one. But we've got 2 shells left. But yeah, they can be relentless because you can be the only one in an open spot that would be easy to hit. We go for the shot into the Dragon. It hits. Third shot, and unfortunately we hit the building, which wasn't the best shot in the universe. It probably wasn't actually going to go in. We ricochet a shot from the Earthshaker there off our front of our turret. Lucky, but we'll take it. And we're up to 1,057 damage with 471 assistance. And to be honest, at this point, I just want to get over the line. Because I've been in this situation with the Barracuda at least twice, where I'm just that close to 3 marking it. And then the gun... The matchmaking's happened where I've had tier 10 games and the gun just says no. Because the frustration is, naturally, you don't have the best penetration in the universe. And with the gun being pretty derpy, and especially when you play against tier 10, it means you just don't hit the spots you need to hit. And you sit there going, oh, come on, gun, I really needed to hit that. And you end up, because you sit there wasting so much time reloading, you just don't get the chance to put the damage out. And you go, oh, come on, let me just get the damage. And you end up suffering quite a lot of loss on the MOE. Because generally, it was quite high for the Barracuda. So we're up to 2.2k damage because we did get the perfect clip into the Ragnarok, which we'll take. We've got shots into this Tiger 1 if he pulls forward. The Tiger 1 does end up pulling forward and thinking, okay, maybe I can shoot this Tiger 1 through this wall. We go for the shot into the wall and it hits the post. The second one hits the post. And the third one destroys the wall. All I wanted to do there, by the way, was destroy that wall that we destroyed with the third shot. But the first 2 shots were like magnets to that wooden post. And it's like, gone. Really? I just wanted to destroy the wall so I could get a clear angle of what I'm shooting at this Tiger 1. But sure, okay, because you can see, I can shoot this Tiger 1 from here. Waiting on the reload, I'm like, Mr. Tiger 1, you can shoot me. Yes, come back. I know you can get a free shot at me if you let me shoot you. We get 2 shots into him. Lower plate of the T-32, straight through, perfect clip. 3.2k damage. Whew, we're not dropping anymore. And we've got 471 assistance, so we're actually gaining, because we're at 3.6k. And from that last game, we're at 94.75. So we need, you know, a 0.25 rise. So realistically, we're looking at about 4k damage. That's what I'd had in the past in terms of experience. Getting about 4k damage would tip me up about 0.3, 0.4. So that's what we're doing, and we're making sure, look, we've made sure that that was pretty damn well aimed on the Crusader. We track him. Can we get the third shell in to finish it off? Good night, Mr. Crusader. 4,000 damage, 500 assistance. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And at this point, I'm like, thank goodness, mate. I think, obviously, you can never be too sure, because the MOE system sometimes likes to stick its middle finger up at you and give you 94.99, because it's a troll little bugger. But I'm pretty sure at this point, okay, I think I've got it. 4.5k combined. I'm pretty sure I've got the third mark. But every little extra helps in making sure that we can tip it over, right? You never want to be too satisfied and sit there going, yeah, I've definitely got it. Because what you'll find is, yeah, it does stick its middle finger up at you. You end up with needing only 1 more shot. And you go, well, why didn't I try to get that extra shot, right? But you can see, oh, it misses the Dragon. We had the whole side of the Dragon. We aimed behind him. And it went in front of the Dragon. Because of course it did. Thank you, gun. Really nice of you, Barracuda. Again, the Barracuda's gun rearing its ugly head there. We've got 1 shell left, and I was really hoping someone would destroy the building so that I'd get a free shot. But the Dragon is just not giving us the shot that we want. I was really hoping maybe he'd poke out, but unfortunately, he just gets wrecked. There's only 1 tank left. It is the M46 Patton KR. He drives out sideways on like, can I get the shot? Aim it up. We hit the floor. Because his turret was the only thing that was exposed and we couldn't see it, and we end up missing the shot there, meaning we couldn't get the extra damage into the M46 Patton KR. but I'm pretty convinced that I was going to get the third mark of excellence, but it was still just like, oh, come on, gun, really? I just want to finish this grind. Finished the game with 4 kills, 489 assistance, so 4.5k combined. Bascucci's high caliber, the second class, the third mark of excellence with the 1487 base XP. A fairly decent game there for the Barracuda on Fisherman's Bay, doing what we wanted, which is securing that third mark of excellence. 3 stripes on the barrel. Thank goodness for that. I don't really ever have to play the Barracuda again. Although I've got the Emil 1951 to play to try and 3 mark if I have to do that. Yeah, but 3 seconds extra reload is quite nice on that tank. But yeah, as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!